Hey YouTubers, this is Chandler here with Rocky Mountain E-Bikes. It's a gorgeous day here in Colorado. I was going to take a bike I just received, and it's been a long time. I should have posted this video years ago. I yeah, E-bikes are fun. Anyway, the new one is the new Rocky Mountain E-Bikes flagship. It is a full suspension. Just arrived in the box, by the way. But it's a full suspension fat bike, fat e-bike, which it carries 1,000 watt motor. Has a 48 volt, 13.6 amp hour battery. It has the 4-inch wide fat tires, 26-inch rims, but it's I initially had back before Saunders came out, 2013, I think it was 2012. I built my first e-fat bike, the Dolomite, which at the time I was the first mountain bike, at least in Colorado, at least that I knew of. And yeah, I'm gonna unpack this, but the fat bikes are awesome for snow, sand, a little bit of extra grip. One downside, and I'll take this on the ride with us tomorrow, and I might maybe go down some single track, but the fat bikes, I took my Dolomite on. Took my Dolomite, which was a front wheel drive hub motor, and I went on Mount Falcon, which is very, very, very steep, very rocky terrain, and that was a horrible mistake. Fish out of water. It was e-bikes are awesome. You can do mostly everything on an e-bike, but you don't take a rigid, heavy, no suspension fat bike to Mount Falcon. On the battery died before I was even halfway up the hill, and the whole way down the mountain was not a lot of fun because it was a rigid and the thing weighed a ton, and the low handlebars. I was like walking down the mountain on my hands pretty much. And anyway, so I since then, back in 2013, I designed my Specialized, which hey, it's got the better better specifications than a Luna. No offense, Luna, but people have told me it's like comparing a built Chevelle, versus brand new spanking Porsche 911, or in modern terms, the new Tesla Roadster. 1.8 seconds, 0 to 60. When I first started e-bikes, I thought I was going to be delusional because I've ridden motorcycles. I've done 200 plus miles an hour. I've had Hayabusas, GSXRs, ZX, um, I, and I loved them. But e-bikes are a whole new world, and uh, I ride. I used to work uh, 20 plus miles away from my house, and I just rode my bike every day, my e-bike, because Denver traffic is getting so big and ugly that the roads can't handle it. Plus, breathing all that stuff we're putting in the air is. I saw an autopsy when I was going through medical that a lady had lived in Denver her whole life, but her lungs looked like she was a chain smoker. That's just because of living in the city. So I found riding my e-bike to work, riding my I tried riding my Dolomite a couple times, but it was just too big and heavy, and it's again fish out of water. So I was using my Specialized as an everyday commuter, just because it's with the thinner tires, it's more efficient. And after riding sport bikes and always going too fast, I'm honestly at the point where I don't know if I mean I could go up to 72 volt, but do I want to? Because how much is too much? Pat, high tech battery, awesome. awesome, very knowledgeable, very friendly guy. He can get you set up. Mention my name for a discount, but he's got a e-bike that'll do 60 plus miles an hour, and it's no offense, it's awesome. I having ridden motorcycles, I love them, but I had a dirt bike, I had ATVs, I had motorcycle, crotch rockets, quote unquote, and I think on a bicycle, I think 72 is that's a lot because right now I'm running it's a 1,000 watt motor that I could probably pump 7,000 watts out of that thing if I pushed it. It's only got a weak 26 amp battery. I'm sorry, 26 amp controller, cheap China conversion kit, aka 2013. But I love it because I've swapped out the battery. The battery that I bought was underpowered, so I jumped up to a 52 13.6 as well, and I have no complaints. I mean, yeah, sometimes 13.6 could be a smaller battery compared to others, but compared to like a 20 plus amp hour, but I have a lot less room to work with, which by the way, on that 72 amp, they can give me a 72 amp hour 72 volt 18 amp hour battery that'll fit in that same space taken up by my 52. So I'm very tempted, and I'll give you guys another episode. Give me your thoughts, comments. But you guys tell me, should I be happy with the 52? Should I jump up to a 72? Because fully charged at 78 amps, and I've heard of people pushing a 50 amp plus 60 amp controller, but at what point is it turning into not a bicycle? I asked that question, guys. Comment. Let me know. Anyway, I'm going to unpack the beast, the beautiful beast. And I'm not going to ride it till tomorrow, but I'm so tempted because fat tire bikes, once you hit sand, which I hate sand. I've broken shoulders from sand, which is probably my bad, but for whatever. But compared to the thins, or I rode a Saunders thin through some single track, and it's again, it can do it, but it doesn't like it, especially with the rigid frames. Saunders, awesome. I own stock. I was one of the first people to buy one of your bikes. Bang for the buck. Hey, you don't regret your bike. No one buys the e-bike and says, I want to go back. I want to go back to doing everything by myself. I don't ever want help, because it's all a matter how much do you want. Not too much, not too little. It's just you call the shots. But the Saunders, the prices have crept up and up and up and up, and now, you still don't get a rear suspension even if you buy their front air shock, which is better than no shock, but heavier. And I mean, I have air shocks on my cheap bikes that I'm selling, that I offer, and hey, they're better than no shocks. Having a motor is better than not. It's worth the extra weight. I back when I used to spend hundreds of dollars on my Specialized to lose a few pounds, and I used to ride a route that I thought I was a decent biker if I went like 2 times a month. And my first weekend from having an e-bike, albeit a Dolomite, I took those same trails 6 times the first weekend. So yeah, I'm cheating. I'm getting help. Hey, I like a little bit of help. It's been a while, but then it's only as much as I'm asking, and I've the repetitions I've gone out. I go out on my bike 1,000 times more than I used to, and I have more fun. I ride to work. People could. Yeah, there's no downside to the e-bike until the battery dies. I pedaling that Dolomite, which at least was a 7-speed compared to the Saunders 1. Come on, Saunders. But even on a 7-speed, pedaling a fat, no suspension e-bike with a dead battery uphill is not a lot of fun. That's when I probably should park it and Uber my way home. anyway, and then come back and pick it up. That's the lazy way. But I'm just saying, yeah, the need to have a don't go. I would recommend starting out on maybe a 36 volt, but then I think a 48 or 52 is going to keep most people happy. But then when you start wanting to go faster and faster and faster, uh, hey, there's people that are pushing 150 amp that are doing 90 miles an hour plus. I heard of some e-bike that'll do 150. It just said on Facebook, which Rocky Mountain e-bikes, or we here in Denver, we're the Bear Creek Cruisers. Love to join you. Love to have you join us. But yeah, it's just a matter each person's limit. I if someone's trying on an e-bike for the first time, I would not recommend even a 52 volt for a first timer. And maybe I'm being a grandma, but I've had a couple wrecks, and like I said, maybe that's bad me, but whatever. I prefer not to repeat it. So I love the e-bikes, and I'm going to assemble this beast and take it for a ride. Let you guys know. Keep in touch, man.